Hello beautiful beloved twin flames, this is Stephanie Parasha Divine Light coming out to you from New Zealand, Aotearoa, back in my home where I am currently living. So we have settled back down here and it's settling into the first week of 2018. And yeah, just bringing you an energy kind of weather report, I guess you could call it, of how I'm tuning in to what's been going on. And I've been writing a few things down. I am recording this outside, so you might hear the odd outside noise, whether it's cars or animals or birds or insects and the like. So I'm going to try and get through as much as I can. So interesting, definitely a big shift of energy going into this year. My other sort of, I guess, spiritual people that I work with in my community and around me have been all saying, wow, big energies, wow, you know, big step ups and into new timelines, into newer vibrations, into higher frequencies. And of course that plays out for people in many different ways, whether it's you know, bumping them into things that are no longer serving them and showing them what's not working, or actually, you know, manifesting really great things within their fields and seeing how much they are becoming more and more conscious to be able to make better choices and have new awareness and the ability to co-create consciously with the universe and going in with that flow. So I did write a few things down, and it's funny, I'm just going to say this because my spell check, I was doing it on my phone. I had written thick. What I thought I'd written was there was a thick layer of control fog that we've sort of, what I feel is sort of like the energy of control has cleared and lifted, and so yet many people are feeling that lift of not having that sort of heavy weight of whether it be obligation or just not seeing clearly, or just sort of, and it's funny because spell check changed it to getting through the chick Laura of control dog, and I was like, what did I write? And finally figured it out. Anyway, I have been feeling in my body a lot of shifting around my sacral area and my hips and my stomach, with digestion and sort of really stiff joints in and around my hips, and my base sort of sacral chakra areas really feeling activated in that area, and feeling a lot of pain and resistance from old energies that programs that I've inherited, or not being able to let go of, or not being aware of, that are now being cleared. So many astral planes being cleared right now. Like, I know there's just so many different dimensional planes and layers out there of energy, but really feeling as I came back into my own home area that large sort of chunks of the astral plane were being cleared as sort of like junk, I guess you could call it. So like some of those just kind of entities or energies or spirits that have not been able to find the way home, or not reach their own inner reconciliation, and continue to kind of roam the planet and become sort of like parasitic energies. A lot of that has been cleared. So yeah, just hopefully people feeling a lot lighter. I had a really nice breakthrough this week. Two good, you know, actually there's always like lots of synchronicities, but two big ones. One that happened was this Friday, which would have been the 5th of January. I came back to the town that I live, and I often work out of the crystal shop there and do readings out of there on a Friday, and it happened to be a Friday, but I was a little bit out of sync with my being away on holiday, and I popped back in to check in with them, and at that point they were just talking to a lady who was asking after me, and she'd seen that I do twin flame readings, and she was really excited, and I just happened to walk in at that particular moment, and she was just so relieved, and it was a great confirmation for her as a twin flame. She felt very alone in New Zealand. She didn't think there were many twin flames here, and so she was just like a shining bright light, you know, and we met each other and felt each other's energy of being twin flames, and how exciting that was for us. So I really appreciate if you have managed to track me down, that beautiful lady on YouTube, and listening to this video. I want to thank you very much for that beautiful synchronization. I hope that's helped you on your journey as well. And so in terms of our twins, yeah, so was there one more synchronicity that I had? It's popped out of my head right now, but I've been getting some nice information flowing through around continuing the fifth dimensional consciousness, and I've always been one to talk about, rather than the separation that people use as a terminology to define when twins are not what they've defined in physical union. I feel the heaviness of those words, and I haven't always subscribed to them, and I don't like to use them, and I am an eternal optimist, and I like to use the words preparation. So, and this lady did actually say to me, and are you in physical union with your twin? And I feel like there's, a real heavy pressure that gets put on us, and I do feel like it's an overlay from the third dimension that says, you're supposed to be in some kind of romantic partnership with your twin in order to prove that it's a success. But actually what I felt was, that I'm twin flame relationships can take on all kinds of levels and all kinds of shades and flavors. They don't have to fit a prototype, and that's exactly what we're trying to get out of. And I thought to myself, I am in my own mind in physical union with my twin, because we have never been what I'd call separated. We are always in contact with each other, although we're not in what I'd call a romantic relationship. Neither of us are ready or wanting that anyway. So I have merged with my twin on the spiritual soul level, if you like, and that's how I was awakened to the fact that I was a twin flame, and when all the signs and synchronicities started and so on. And then following that, I listened to a lovely video by Anne and Katrina, and Katrina talked about the fact that, she also talked to this and said that when you've unified with your twin on the soul level, you never feel that you're alone or separated from them, even though it might, and I've always talked about this, not to get caught up in what's happening on the 3D or interpret it as separation, because it's just not how it is. It really isn't, and you shouldn't feel like you're comparing or competing, or that you need to be in a physical union with your twin, unless it's what you really, really want and you desire that, and it does feel right and true for you that you want that. That's a different thing entirely. But I guess it's also to allow for just different types of unions. They don't have to fit the stock standard template. In fact, that's what we're really trying to move away from. So moving on from that, they're asking us to, in terms of knowing that, then we don't fall so deeply into despair of this whole separation, loneliness and abandonment sort of realm, which many of us have been in over the last couple of years, some quite deeply. It's less damaging, if we can not be falling into those spaces and just maintain that kind of nice, heightened, bubbly kind of approach, where when you see your twin and you kind of think, well, why aren't they coming towards me? It's like, well, they already are. I just, at the moment, they're there, and don't get all hung up on those kind of things. Nevertheless, if you do have the ability to be in communication with your twin and to have the opportunities to be together in some way, use that opportunity to open up more your lines of communication and try and be as honest as you can about your feelings. Don't let those feelings run underneath and sort of run some kind of energy that's all nervous, and it's really important to let that energy out and open up and speak from your heart. Don't leave them guessing when they're wondering, I can feel something, but why aren't they saying what's going on? And make sure you're letting out those blocks that hold you back from speaking your truth or communicating to them your true feelings. Don't always expect them to pick up these kind of subtle signs that you might be giving off that are saying, oh, maybe there's something, but you're not actually really being honest and coming forward. Be bold and challenge some of those norms, especially around the gender stereotypes that we've been fed around, that the masculine's supposed to be the one, or the male that comes forward. We've really again got to re-look again, they're telling me, at this whole masculine feminine business. And you know that what they're trying to show me, and it's again a bit of a flip out in your brain, and it's really hard to kind of spin around to look at this in a sort of breaking point, tipping way where we tip it upside down. They're actually saying that the wounds that we are experiencing mostly are in the feminine part of all of us. So that includes those in the male body. So even though we label things wounded masculine, wounded feminine, the wounded feminine is the part that's the most wounded and needing the most healing, whether you're in a male body or a female body. This is the part that's been damaged the most and really needs, no matter what body you're in, and this is true, that the masculine is generally within the self. I'm not talking about a male thing here. The energy of the masculine is a protection and provision energy, so it protects and provides for the feminine. So when the feminine has become wounded, that within the male body, the masculine part that needs to provide and protect also becomes out of balance, and those templates are very damaged, and so we're needing to do some healing work around these parts. I talked last week, they kind of funny how my guides talk to me in funny ways. You know, they say, oh, last week we did the 3 S's, and that was releasing sacrifice and suffering and servitude or slavery. This week we're focusing on the P's, they told me, provision and protection. So where does this come within you? Where have you gone out of balance? And me, how I looked at this was, I am a kind of feminine female, where my masculine has taken over quite strongly and had to take the role of provider and protector of my daughter. And within my previous marriage, where my husband perceived to be a little bit out of balance in his feminine and masculine, he was not in a position to be able to provide for me or protect. Therefore, I had to increase my masculine in order to do that for myself. But it's again gone out of balance, and I've taken on that role too much. And what happens in that case is that we're unable to receive when you're in that state. So whether you're a male or a female. So it's really important to make sure that we're looking at also the other side of what happens when those things are out of balance within ourselves. There's a lot of work here to do on this, and to not overlay again this onto it being a male or a female thing, because we get caught up in that a lot, and it doesn't serve us, because it's not up to the males to do a certain thing or the females to do a certain thing. It's the energy itself that needs healing within both of the female and male bodies. Okay, so twin flames, a huge part of what we're here to do, something I've often talked about in my videos. I got a message for twin flames we're no longer going to be hiding as much. We're no longer going to be wallflowers trying to merge in and camouflage ourselves and sort of hide. We are being urged to come out more and be proud of who we are and be more like a peacock. So they showed me the energy of the peacock as being a representation of being able to show off a little bit more and not show off, but just be proud of who we are. And I'm feeling that more and more in myself. I feel very honoured and very proud to be provided and to be stepped into this role of it being a twin flame light worker, and it is a portion within a greater whole of a huge grid of light workers across the planet that have all got their various roles to play. Some have been given the role of gatekeepers or portal opening and closes, way showers. We've got people that are structurally organising things on a structural level. We've got channelers that are all channeling in the information from the higher realms. We've got people that do the body work and the healers. We've got people that do all of those things and work in multi-dimensional ways. We have just got everybody online. Hopefully, obviously I've talked about this before too. Well, there's a whole group of us that go online and hold space and keep the light grids operating and functioning, and many new light grids you may have felt have been switched on recently, because we've got a higher and higher number of light workers that are switching on their lights and have reached a high enough frequency where they are able to anchor and stabilize the light grids on the planet which hold the light. And when they need their upgrades, and when they need to take rest and recuperate and recover and lie down, and which I've also been getting the last few days, I've been getting a lot of pressure to lie down and rest, that there are others that pick up the stick and hold space for us and hold us safely while we receive our upgrades of light. So I pretty much feel that is the main lot of information this week. I am on my personal journey very excited, because I'm meeting with my beloved twin flame in a couple of days' time, and it'll be the first time we will have met for this year, and I get very excited. So hopefully I can give you an update the next, probably by next week. I'll hope to have another video up with another update. Yeah, just keep staying positive, keep your vibrations high, stay in your hearts, let your hearts guide you, and be where you need to be in order to feel right, and trust that, you know, we're no longer subscribing or participating in old 3D matrix belief systems. Okay, stepping right out of that now, stepping right up. Okay, I'm sending you out a huge amount of love and light and gratitude to each and every one of you for listening and supporting. And yeah, I will get in touch with you again very soon. Bye for now.